Good morning, all. I am Gisariana yati. Will deliver a speech entitled Learning Online. Dear ladies and gentlemen, as well as my friend who I love, praise and graduate, we pray the presence of God Almighty who has bestowed grace so that we can all get her in this place in a healthy state. On this occasion, I will deliver a speech with the theme of online learning or what we usually call DARE. The existence of this epidemic, we are obliged or forced to do online learning or DARE. With online learning is a learning system without face-to-face between teacher and student directly, but done online using the internet network. Of course, there are many things that make us have to adjust to the current situation. With, with used to be direct material, now we can only read and understand textbooks and browse the internet. Less effective learning than previously we could ask the teacher about material that we did not understand directly. Now, can no longer be done. Many parents complain about not being able to help their children learn or about the wasteful question used for ball learning. My friend, who I am proud of, we should be grateful for being able to carry out this ball learning because if we were not there, there were still many of our friends who who could not carry out this online learning because of the limited signal and even did not have smartphone. Therefore, lest you increase or in crying out learning, we can all graduate with satisfactory the for learning increase because we have to adapt to self the learning. Pandemic COVID-19 has changed the order of people live. The waves only attack the Indonesian state but also hit the world. The existence of COVID-19 made a mood the dismiss the activities outside the home which should be done as the knowledge. The community must maintain a safe distance or is called a driven judgment, the in which people are graduate and isolate in each one, including the epidemic of the community. Want to leave the house to meet the main point such in buying something for the daily needs community. The implementation of current and is activities that are commonly implemented in the space of the school environment are home learning activities will require a good learning medium student need so that student easily understand the subject matter. In this condition, it will be difficult to provide learning media because parents are less experienced in teaching children material from school and students need media support as means of smooth learning. There are several things considered when choosing in media appropriate learning determine in choosing the medium will be affect the effectiveness and evidence of the learning process. Media use not necessary and expensive and modern, but rather opposite cheap and simple media that it easy to make and teacher learning in school by saying the learning system. One way to overcome student and teacher learning in school by changing the learning system at home, namely using the system online or online learning. Online learning is carried out using it in the form of smartphone, laptop, computer, or tablet. The use of online learning is considered the appropriate straight replace classroom learning. Change in learning strategies are certainly complemented by new learning media as a support in learning activities. In this condition, the system, namely the internet media, the, the application of online learning can run with smooth and stable if assisted by the internet network connection to be accessed on device. Learning media has functioned as a learn and can be as an intermediary means information that from the learning media has important role the use the system online learning during the COVID pandemic 19. Change ordinary learning becomes online learning follow with learning media. Online is term that we often use when connected to the internet. The internet is connected to our social media so that email and all kinds the we have can use the internet. On the other hand, online learning is more the risk of having to the interference the terms interaction. The main in learning online itself is certain technology that the student must have so that it can enable them to study in any place such as smartphone or computer. This becomes a barrier for some students in learning activities. Teacher can easily notify you when the best time to hold class. There are no more worries about hours to morning or evening. Even so, this setting can be boomerang because many people try to do something at the same time the class takes place. Finally, this will interfere with their focus when learning, so that the learning is no longer effective without an internet network. Online class will not work. This also applies to the fluence during the learning process if you experience connection problems. There is a risk that the information provided by the teacher will not reach all students actually. Next, the dynamic of online learning during the pandemic. There are several obstacles that students experienced in learning during the COVID-19 pandemic, such as network access that supportive. Students are lazy to the study at home for several months, which makes them bored and less attentive to learning. and culture which regulates education during this pandemic. Of course, we can see solution at ways to overcome the Ministry of Education and Culture in terms of student learning problem, such as send with telecom cell providers who network access is a very adequate in their own condition of geographic location, as well as starting to have teacher activities visit, visit student and at home or offline. In this case, control their students studying at home. This is one form of teacher attention in dealing with this pandemic. In this new para teacher must act a facilitator for student. The new is still being even though it is less effective due the pandemic that has hit, but that does not mean education system must to. Although the current state of learning is not what used to be, this does not affect student learning outcomes. Learning outcomes are something that in the teaching and learning process which are marked by change in the behavior, knowledge, skill, and experience of students. It can be said the result of learning if there have been change from initially not knowing to knowing. If the learning objective have been activated, it is said to be learning outcomes. That that is the speech I can deliver. If there are words that are not pleased to my heart, I apologize profusely. Thank you.